Terror, Doklam, OBOR, India-Japan meet focused on counter-China strategy. India and Japan on Thursday in the annual summit meet laid down the strategy on how to enhance cooperation to counter the growing aggression of China in the region. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Japanese counterpart Shinzo Abe agreed to strengthen cooperation in the Indo-Pacific region where China is increasing its assertiveness. Addressing a joint press conference, both leaders focused on the partnership going beyond bilateral or regional. The two leaders stressed on a global partnership. The range of special strategic and global partnership is not just limited to bilateral and regional sphere. We have close cooperation on global issues as well, Prime Minister Modi said. While Prime Minister Abe said, "We have just signed a joint statement which will serve as a milestone to open a new era for Japan-India relationship. Based on that, we will strongly promote Japan-India special strategic and global partnership to drive peace and prosperity for Indo-Pacific region and the whole world." During the talks between the two leaders, India and Japan inked 15 pacts to give a boost to cooperation in various key sectors, including civil aviation, trade, and science and technology. Sources have told India Today that the recent border standoff at Doklam between India and China did come up during discussions. While Foreign Secretary Jaishankar said that Doklam was not specifically mentioned in the statement, there was discussion on regional and global issues yesterday. The spokesperson of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Japan, Mr. Norio Maruyama, on the other hand, without naming Doklam, said, "Certainly all issues of strategic importance were discussed. The real import of the ties was felt in the joint statement, which took into account all aspects of Indo-Japan relations, including mutual concerns." The paragraph on terrorism was very strong, calling out Pakistan to act against terrorism. Aiming for a zero-tolerance approach towards terrorism, India and Japan on Thursday agreed to strengthen cooperation against terror groups including Al-Qaeda, Islamic State, Pakistan-based Jaish-e-Mohammed, JEM, Lashkar-e-Toiba, LET, and their affiliates. The statement added, the two prime ministers also called for Pakistan to bring to justice the perpetrators of terrorist attacks, including those of the 26/11 terrorist attack in Mumbai and the 2016 terrorist attack in Pathankot. North Korea's nuclear threat discussed. The two sides have decided to combine forces to counter increasing aggression and threats in the region. Jaishankar confirmed that there was substantive discussion on North Korea and the nuclear threat it poses. The two prime ministers condemned in the strongest terms North Korea's continued development of its nuclear weapons and ballistic missile programs, the statement read, with a veiled reference to China in allegedly having supported North Korea's nuclear program. They stressed the importance of holding accountable all parties that have supported North Korea's nuclear and missile programs. They also urged North Korea to address at the earliest the abductions issue. Both countries wary of China's aggression. Continuing with efforts to counter China's Belt and Road Initiative, both countries reiterated the importance of all countries ensuring the development and use of connectivity infrastructure in an open, transparent, and non-exclusive manner based on international standards and responsible debt financing practices, while ensuring respect for sovereignty and territorial integrity, the rule of law, and the environment. The Chinese initiative has been criticized for its opaqueness and violations of international rules and standards in doing business with other nations. In continuation, the joint statement, in a departure from the past, without naming the South China Sea, reaffirmed the importance of freedom of navigation, overflight and unimpeded lawful commerce in accordance with international laws. They also highlighted the importance of peaceful resolution of disputes, including through full respect for legal and diplomatic processes, without resorting to the threat or use of force, and in accordance with the universally recognized principles of international law, notably the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, UNCLOS. When asked, Jaishankar said, "When you are referring to the Indo-Pacific, then South China Sea is covered, so when you refer to the whole region, the subsets are covered." This was endorsed by the Japanese press secretary when he said, "What is important is the content. If you look at the relevant paragraph of this document, you can see that we are on the same lines. Also, with the new economic initiatives, be it joint investments in the West Asian nations or the African continent, the focus is to counter Chinese foothold in these regions. Even the focus on northeastern states seems driven to increase influence in the bordering region. According to the joint statement, the two prime ministers welcomed the India-Japan cooperation on development of India's northeastern region, NA, as a concrete symbol of developing synergies between India's Act East policy and Japan's free and open Indo-Pacific strategy. Even as India, Japan forged a strong alliance, China warned India on Thursday not to form alliances with Japan. We advocate that regional countries should stand for dialogue without confrontation and work for a partnership instead of an alliance, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Hua Chunying said.